Hello, what's going on? My name's Tom. About a week ago, I asked on Twitter for people to ask me things that I could answer in one of these Tomcast things that I do. Just because I thought it might be a little bit fun, and I don't have like a huge plethora of knowledge in life, but I have at least a little bit of experience that I might be able to apply on some things. And I also thought that I'd build some fucking Lego while I do this. So today I'm going to be building Big Chicken. The first question I got though, before I dig into this Lego, is from one of my good friends, David, better known as Era. Also, yeah, I wrote it down instead of just reading it off Twitter because I use my phone to record. Fuck you. He asks, how do you get the motivation to do something but mentally can't overcome the idea of failing really badly? This is sort of a topic that I've wanted to touch for a while on a Tomcast, but now I've just got to, like, I forcefully have to get into this topic, which is good, because this is the point of these question advice ones. It's so I can actually get into doing something. I think it's very hard to garner the sort of like the motivation to do something if you're in your mind dead set think you're gonna fail at something. And I think what I've wanted to talk about for a while in this kind of stuff is the fact that, in my experience anyway, the reason it's super hard to overcome that fear of failing badly is because humans inherently, as soon as we do something, want it perfect. For example, I didn't start editing for a long while, like out of school, just even making videos like this or streaming or anything, because as soon as you start doing something, you want it to be perfect and you want it to be the best it can be instead of growing and doing something, if you know what I mean. So instead of me sitting down and just editing a video because I like editing and think I want to do it as something to do, instead of doing that, I sit there and be like, well, I'll never release a video or never edit a video fully because I want to be a god at editing first. I want to know everything about editing. I want to just be the best editor ever, instead of like just taking a risk and editing a video and putting it out. It is definitely a very difficult thing to overcome, and I don't know if I have advice on how to overcome it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's a thing you can really ever overcome, which as depressing as that sounds, it's not like an easy thing to just be like, oh well, I'll just do it. But that's the only way that you can do it. The only way that you can possibly ever overcome this stuff is you just say, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? But it's a very hard step to make for anyone. All of it boils down to just being anxious, really. And a lot of people who aren't anxious succeed a lot more in life than people who are anxious, which fucking sucks because I'm anxious all the time. But the problem with anxiety is it's inherently built to hold you back from doing things. Look at the Sabertooth Tiger example, for example. The whole premise of that example is that humans see Sabertooth Tiger, we run away from Sabertooth Tiger. But the problem is, there's no more Sabertooth Tigers. So what do we have to replace that with? We have to replace that with our like hopes and dreams and what we want to do in life. So the reason that everyone's so held back from doing what they want is because there's this metaphorical saber-toothed tiger that we're afraid of. You know what I mean? The saber-toothed tiger is now failure. So we don't want to fail because that's bad. We'll get eaten by a saber-toothed tiger if we fail. Which that sounds so fucking dumb, but me and my roommate have talked so much about this dumb fucking topic. Say, for example, my Tomcasts. You know, if I wanted these to be the epitome of content and everyone would love them and everyone would watch them and be like, haha, this funny man, then I wouldn't have made any of them because I think they're all dog shit, even though I go back and watch them and it just makes me feel real depressed because I like relive my problems. Unless I took that leap to just film one and just upload it to YouTube, I would not have the 4 videos before this one, you know? I think the best thing to do, and this is from my experience, is to just do something. And I don't have great experience on that, you know what I mean? Like, I usually don't do this shit. I'll just sit down and not film a video for 3 fucking weeks or not stream for 3 fucking weeks. You know what I mean? The best thing to do is just do. Really. Hopefully, that sort of answered a little bit on what you wanted. David probably didn't, but who fucking cares? I've started on the little like pen that the chickens sit in, I suppose. I don't fucking know. Which I think means a new question. Or advice this time. Sorry, not question. This is from another friend of mine called Jolly Jester. Jolly says he wants advice on relationships and if I've been lonely and how I got myself out of being lonely. Now, I am definitely not the one that you should be listening to when it comes to relationships at all. But being lonely, oh boy, I'm your plethora of knowledge. I've not been in many relationships in my life. I've been in, I think, maybe like 2 actual big relationships instead of just like, you know, high school, hey, I like you, we're dating now for like a week things. They don't count. But I'm 23 and I've been in 2 big relationships. One went for 8 months. The other went for a year and 1 month, I think. The first relationship I had was in 2014 to 2015. And then I was single for 3.5 years. 3.5 years? 15, 16, 19. Sorry, 4 years, pretty much. And I was super fucking lonely during that time. As you can imagine, I rarely had any form of sex. And I don't really know how to like go out of my way and talk to people in real life. You know what I mean? I quite enjoy my own company. I don't go out clubbing on the weekends. I don't do this. I don't do that. But for me, personally, I always struggled meeting people, which sucks when you're lonely, because when you're lonely in that sense, you just sort of like shut yourself off, especially if you find it hard to find people. So it took me 4 years to get into another relationship. Like 2 years of that, I think I was still getting over the first relationship. And then it was like a full year of me knowing that I was ready for another relationship, but struggling really hard to find one. So that was like torture in itself, because I knew I was ready and wanted something, but actually going out of my way to get something was difficult. Hey. So anyway, that's me being lonely for however fucking long I was lonely for. I can't remember if I had like a magical way that I got myself out of it. I think I just started doing a bit more with my life, if that makes sense. Like, I went to a jazz festival with some friends, which was really fun. Sounds super lame, but I fucked with it hard. I think I just went out of my way to do a few more things, because that's the only way you meet people, you know, if you actually fucking go outside. But the only way to get out of like a lonely rut like that is to do something and find someone, you know what I mean? Like, it's very hard when you're lonely, and trust me, I know from experience, it's very hard when you're lonely to go out and do something and actively look for someone, because you're lonely. And as much as it sounds dumb, when you're lonely, you sort of like relish that feeling. So getting yourself out of that rut is near impossible, especially when you're like cripplingly lonely. As much as you want to get out of that rut, it's very difficult to move yourself out of that rut. So I don't know how to really give advice on this. Maybe just like look at going to a club one night or something, or just going out for drinks. Even like dating apps like Tinder or something. I know they're meant to not work. It's still even good just to make friends, and then through those friends that you've made, you can always find someone through that. Or look at going to study again, because friends really are made by convenience rather than anything else, you know? Like the friends that I have currently, I've made the friends just because I work with them. I think the best way to make friends is to find something that you know you're going to be around them with constantly. And then you can branch out from that, you know? Like, that's sort of the only way to find and meet people, is just to go out of your way and do things like that, you know? I think that's pretty much it on on the amount of things I wanted to answer this episode anyway. I got like 4 or 5 questions, and I think I might save them for another video, possibly, because there was some juicy ones in there. big chicken done. Look at this lad. Alright, thanks for joining me on whatever the fuck this is. Hope you enjoyed me building this fucking dumb Minecraft Lego, and me answering your questions. See you later, fuckers.